watching this, I want to start by saying thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me, for giving me a little bit of a voice in your world. It means a lot to me that I can try to help some of you guys change, or at least inspire a little bit based on some of the stuff that I've been through. So welcome to my new YouTube channel. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things in life, relationships, careers, dating these days, friendships, drinking, partying, all of these different things. I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff, maybe even sex, like who knows. Just things that affect daily living, because for me, I lived one life and now I'm living a completely different life, and there's been a couple of transitions in between, and my goal with these videos is going to be to maybe give a little bit of guidance on how I'm successfully growing and learning a balance at a young age. I'm 22. I've experienced a lot of life young. I'm blessed enough to have power and strength to navigate it. And I just want to help out those that maybe could use a little bit of guidance in one area of their life or another. And maybe my opinion or what I've been through could help you. So I'm finally going to speak out about my story a little bit more and be a little bit more open and vulnerable about what I've been through and where it's gotten me, because I feel obligated at this point to start sharing my blessings as well as my struggles. 12 tips to bounce back. I posted a meme about this on the ThickFit social media that I have on Instagram. I just want to go into it today a little bit. We'll talk about a couple of them. I think that they're rules to live by, especially when you are starting a weight loss journey. I've lost about 90 pounds. That's almost 100 pounds. That's almost a whole nother person off of my frame. And I'm 4'11". So that's a lot of weight. It took hard work, consistency, and dedication. And as long as you can train yourself to have those three things, you can do whatever you set your mind to. And I truly believe that. I guess one of the first rules that I had to live by was giving up distractions, meaning habits and people and things in my life that were going to prevent me from moving forward. At the time, that was cigarettes, that was weed, that was alcohol, that was every single person that I was hanging out with and surrounding myself with. It was even my schedule. I know that some people have jobs, they have things that they can't just switch the schedule up. So it's finding a way and times that make it work, and it's about prioritizing. So if this is something you want, weight loss is something you want, muscles is something you want, then you need to make it a priority. It's a priority as much as your job is. It's a priority as much as, dinner with your mom is. I don't know, but it's a priority. Your kids, they're a priority. But I always say you have to put your own oxygen mask on before you help them, because if you pass out, who's going to help them? So I think investing in yourself with time and money, if it's needed for, nutrition and training guidance, that is a really important thing that I consider almost like a bill, like not even an extra expense. It's not a privilege. It's necessary for you to function in your life and do better. I quit everything cold turkey. So when I say give up distractions, I mean I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking, I stopped everything. And this was at the beginning back in about 2014 when I really dropped the 90 pounds of fat. Now it's been years of building muscle and learning my balance, because I fluctuated for a while. So getting into that, I will say that knowing and learning, you'll learn this over time, what are distractions for you? For me, relationships are a huge distraction. Having a boyfriend does not work for me right now in my life, and that's okay. It's boring sometimes, it sucks, but you know what? Being honest and real with yourself and being strong enough to say, hey, not for me right now. This is my focus and this is the path that I'm on and I'm committed to it. That's what's going to get you success. So I'm not going to lie, I screwed up last year and I let somebody in. And for a year, it was a complete distraction. I gained about I don't know, 15, 20 pounds back. I had been down to 128. I was at my prime. I had never been at that weight, you know, since my weight loss and everything. I had started at about 220 or so. Part of my gut said, don't do this. Like, you're on the right track. You're going somewhere. Don't let something else in that could throw you off a little bit. And I did. So although like pain came with that and whatever, since that's ended, I have dropped all of the weight that I gained. I've put on leaner muscle than I had before. I feel stronger than I ever have. So there's a lot of growth that came out of that. But I will say that I wonder where I would have been right now if I hadn't let that person in. Because of that, but I will say boyfriends or certain friends that live certain lifestyles will make your journey harder. Just because it's another person that you're worried about, it's another person that is influencing you to do things that if they weren't there, you wouldn't even have to worry about it. It's eliminating anxiety, it's eliminating a distraction from your focused goal. I would say that that is a big thing to consider in terms of success. It's worked for me. I'm not saying it'll work for you, but it's worked for me. I know some people might be married. It's like, well, you're stuck with your husband then who might have really bad habits. Well, then let's figure out a way to work around that. Can he support you? Can he eat what you're eating? So I guess moving on to the next part is connecting with a supportive circle and taking a break from negative people. It's hard to be able to say no. It's such a simple word, but it's so hard. And I had to learn that because I'm not really anybody's yes woman. So I'm not going to be like, yes, you're right. But I definitely sometimes was scared to speak up and say like, I'm not comfortable with that, or I'm not down for that, or whatever. And so finding your voice and the strength to say that is going to help you in this journey major, because a lot of my friends like to go out for drinks. They like to go out and eat. They like to do a lot of things that when I'm trying to stick to a certain regimen, back then when I was trying to lose the weight, for example, I'm not going to lose 90 pounds by eating French fries at 12 a.m. and drinking tequila and whatever I want to drink, whiskey, whatever, all weekend. Even if I put in all the work during the week, I'm going to ruin it over the weekend. And so knowing what your goals are and sticking to them it's going to remind you to keep pushing. So now I will say, do I drink? Hell yeah, I drink. Do I like to eat out? Yes, I eat out. But this is 4 years later, and it's transition after transition later that I've learned my balance, and I'm still learning. It's a process, and you grow, and then you fall off a little bit, and you come back. It's never giving up. I think being strict at first and cutting a lot of that out is important, because then when you start to bring it back, you can check yourself like, whoa, like you were doing none before. Now look at you. How did you get to drinking? You had 3 drinks this week and none before. Like, keep that in mind. That all turns to glucose. That's going to do something to my body that is going to negatively affect the progress that I've been making. Having friends that want to see you succeed. They're fit-oriented, they're health-oriented. They would rather come over and meal prep together. They would rather meet you at the gym for cardio versus a drink or coffee. And having the power and the strength to suggest that over the other plans, do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. Because I promise you, like, I'm gonna just show you guys a picture of me before. The old me would have never thought that I could be this me. And I am. And so because of that, I'm just so adamant. I'm like, you can do it too. You just have to commit. Like, and I mean, it's years of a journey, but it's so worth it. Oh, it's kind of hard to see, I guess, in the reflection. But anyways, a lot bigger, you know, and now, like, my waist is a lot smaller. I feel like a different person. I feel confident. I have the power to say no. I influence other people to do better that's what I wanted to be. That's who I wanted to be. So I didn't stop until I got there, and I'm still working on that myself. I remember people told me I was such a bitch and I thought I was better than them for cutting them off. And that sucks that they felt that way, but that's a personal issue, I think. I had to be strong enough to take that hate, shove it in the back of my brain as motivation, and stay focused. No distractions. With that, it's okay that they feel that way. Let me put that on the side, and, I need to focus and be the best me. And that means eliminating them. And the fact that they feel that way shows that they are not supportive of what I'm trying to do for myself. And I don't need that in my life. I don't need that energy. So bye. Kick rocks. So basically, let go of those types of people. It's a weird concept to think, like, how do you just cut somebody off? But you just do it. You just do it. Like, you just go to the gym and just get it done. You just don't think about it. You just do it. And before you know it, like, things start clicking and you're like, wow, 10 pounds down. Wow, newfound confidence. Wow, people are admiring and respecting the work that I'm putting into this. Nobody can do this for you. That's what I love so much about it. That's why I've dedicated my life to this. I can help you. I can guide you. But when it comes down to it, you take full responsibility and full credit for all of the progress that you make. Because you're the one that stuck that healthier food in your mouth. You're the one that hit the gym every time you needed to hit the gym. You're the one that eliminated every distraction that you needed to and stood on your own 2 feet and said no to the people and to the experiences that weren't going to be healthy for you. You can take ownership of all of that, and with that, your body changes and so does your mind, and is amazing. Eating alkaline, that's on this list. That's huge. I'm not going to talk about that on this video. I'm going to save that for another video. I've recently learned more about it. When I told you earlier that I dropped all the weight I gained previously in my last relationship, and all of those bad habits that, like, I learned from him again and picked up off of him and stuff, like, it just was not healthy. I basically corrected those issues, the cravings that I had from the bad eating we were doing and stuff. I detoxed and then ate alkaline afterwards and hydrated. I have an alkaline water stick, all this stuff. So like I said, I'll talk about that in another video because that helped me drop over 15 pounds, I think. And I'm down to like, I think it's like 20 pounds I've dropped about now. I have to weigh myself. But since then, and that was October, November-ish. So I would say November because my body was so anxious and weak in October that I couldn't even really work out the way that I wanted to, and I wasn't holding food or water down. So the second that my body was able to strengthen itself a little bit and I started eating alkaline, I gave up coffee, which was rough, and I switched to green tea. Surprisingly, it has some caffeine, but it's still a very alkaline drink. So stuff like that, I altered, and I dropped weight, like I said, almost 20 pounds or so in a matter of 4 or 5 months. And I built good muscle on top with it. So, and I have so much energy. That's another thing we'll talk about with the alkaline stuff is when you're working out, you're working, I have my own business and I need constant energy. I got to be on all the time. I'm dealing with people. I like to be happy. So I don't know how I don't run out of energy. And I think that that's alkaline that's contributing to that. Writing your goals down. That's self-explanatory, super, super important. When you have it in your head, it's so easy to forget because there's a billion things running through your head. So I like to write my goals down. I literally have a journal. That's another one on here. But just journaling like your feelings, your emotion. I did so good today, like whatever. But in my journal, I have a page with categories. So it has like my business goals. It has my job goals. It has my fitness goals. It has my eating goals. I break it down into categories because I think there's a lot of categories to your life. I even have goals in my social life, like making sure that I'm there for certain friends, making sure I'm doing things for certain people that deserve it, and giving back. For me, something that fills my soul, that makes me feel good, I'm gonna start volunteering as a motivational speaker for a organization that deals with people with mental health and depression, anxiety, PTSD, a lot of the mental disorders. And I want to break down some of that stigma as somebody that suffers from a lot of that people would never guess. And that fills my soul, that gives me some life, that gives me energy. But writing down your goals is really important because you'll never forget them. And then once you attain them, you can look back on that later and be like, yes, boo, yes, like I accomplished that. Another thing is knowing what motivates you. That's going to be a separate video as well. That's huge, because to commit to something for years, you need to have motivators. And mine have changed over the years. So what motivated me back then to originally lose all the weight, a couple years later, I have completely different motivators for why I'm still killing it in the gym. And I mean, I've made this my job, I've made this my business, I've made this my entire life. So obviously it's done something for me. I think it can do something for you too. So knowing what really motivates you. Are you doing it for your kids? Are you doing it because there's something within yourself that you need to learn? I originally started because I wanted to reach my full potential, and I knew I couldn't reach my full potential being insecure and hiding behind my body and using it and abusing it and just all of that. I was like, no. Like, if I'm this person and I'm empowered and I want to help other people and I'm just happy to see other people succeed, that's the person that I want to be. I want to be happy. I want to be strong. I want to feel beautiful. And all of those things are changing the way that I look at life and starting to take care of myself. And once I did that, everything changed. So that was my original motivation. But it's like, okay, like I had cravings, kick in, all this shit. Damn right I gave in. There was tons of binges on my journey. There was tons of fuck ups. And then I had to realign, look at the goals that I wrote for myself and look at the motivators that I wrote for myself and say, shit, like, let's get back on track here. That was a fuck up. That happened. Okay, let's correct it and move forward. It's another one on here. Let's go where the love is, connect with your soul tribe. Those are all true. Like I said, be positive and surround yourself with only positive people and supportive people. I know a lot of girls that surround themselves with other girls. They're like, my friend, this, that, and then they're talking shit about them and all this stuff. Is I try not to talk shit about anybody, even people that have done me real dirty. I still kick rocks and I wish you the best, but just stay away from me. And a lot of times I feel like they're almost rooting for each other to fail and they're competing with each other. And for me, the only competition I have is myself, and the only competition that you should have is yourself. Exercise is on here, obviously. Stay hydrated. Water, absolutely. No soda. I don't even want to discuss that. No soda. Water is life. Your body is basically 70% water. I should know that. But I am drinking water from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. It doesn't stop. And I have an alkaline water stick just to make sure that my water is constantly at the pH balance that I want it at, so that my skin's clear, I'm energized, I feel good, and I'm hydrated. My body needs so much water, and yeah, you're gonna pee a lot, but it's so worth it. And it also helps you lose weight. What else is on here? Breathe, meditate, that helps me. We won't get into that. I guess the last one we can talk about, and then I'll sign off because I'm almost at 30 minutes, is get a mentor, coach, or therapist. So I don't know who's watching this. I don't know what you have going on in your life, but I can speak for myself, and I can tell you that I've gotten mentors, a coach, and a therapist at this point. And I am so grateful that I've had the means to be able to. I will say that the investment has paid off beyond belief. My mentors have helped and guided me in my business, in my body, in navigating all of that. It's really hard to do it on your own. It's almost impossible to do it all on your own. And trust me, I like to believe that I'm Superwoman and I can do everything myself, and I live alone and I carry all my groceries myself, and then I cook myself, clean myself, gym myself, work myself, like take care of my skin and then do my hair and like 1,000 million things. I don't even know how there's enough time in the day sometimes. So having that supportive system around me, meaning my friends, like I talked about earlier, the supportive circle, the people that hit you up and they're like, you're killing it, like good job, I fucking love you. But also having these other people, a mentor, a coach, and a therapist, because the mentors, they'll give you advice, they'll help guide you where you need it, so you're not spending all this time researching and doing all of this shit that you could just ask them a fucking question and they'll be like, here you go, here's the answer. You know, learning, I like to learn from experience. I'm a hands-on person. You can tell me a bunch of numbers, you can tell me a bunch of stuff, and there's a chance that it's gonna go in one ear, out the other a little bit. But when I'm in person and I'm doing it and I'm feeling it and I'm like, yes, like this is the energy, then I absorb it a lot better. So that was one thing I learned about myself, and having a mentor, especially for my business, learning how the body works and like the mechanics behind, you know, certain exercises. A coach, I mean, I'll say that that's maybe like a life coach or a trainer, nutrition, somebody to help you navigate that. Maybe even if you can afford to invest in somebody like me for, I don't know, like a couple sessions. Maybe you'll end up being like, this is a complete worth it investment. Like, this is changing my life already. This is helping me so much. I have somebody that I can go to. They're almost like a therapist in their own way, because they're helping you change your physical body, and with that changes a lot of mental stuff. And I can understand that because I've been through it myself. I think a coach could be really helpful, especially to somebody with kids, to people that just don't have the time to research and learn and experience all of these different things in order to achieve their goals. Having somebody else do all of that work for you and then just come in and say, do this, do this, do this, and you're going to get here as long as you commit and you stick with me, that's helpful, I think, and it can help you get there faster, or maybe even at all. Therapist, I know that there's a whole stigma like, oh, go talk to your therapist. That's fucked up, because I fucking love my therapist and I love talking to her, and it's not like peaches and creams every time I go in there. I don't like to cry. This bitch has me crying every time I go in. She gets so deep into my past and to like some of the stuff that I've been through that triggers me now, that has prevented me in some ways, I think, from being my best version of myself. Like I said, I physically transform my body, and I believe in the mind-body-spirit connection. So this year, some of my goals and what I'm working on is mental and spiritual, because I've not mastered physical, but I definitely have it under control. So mentally and spiritually, I would like to learn more about myself. I would like to get deeper into some of my issues and my areas of opportunity, I guess I'll say, and just learn more to be the best that I can be. My therapist is helping me to do that, and it's painful. It's so rough, but it's helped me grow greatly. And I think I've been going to her maybe for like 4 months now or something. I was in therapy a lot when I was young, and it was against my will. So now that I was older and grown, and I just went on my own and said, like, I need this for myself, I want to do this, that was the big difference. So I guess I'll finish off this video by saying, you will change when you are ready to, and you will change when you are willing to stick to it. That's when you'll see the results. So stay committed, stay positive. Please contact me, thickfitfitness@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram @ThickFitFitness or @CoreyCocoTess. That's my personal. You can always DM me there as well. Facebook, ThickFit Fitness. You can email me any of these ways. DM me, direct message, whatever you want. Yeah. And I just want to say good luck on your journeys and keep pushing. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.